Austin Kennedy of the Bryant Law Center in Paducah and Louisville is our guest on the first segment of today's Local 6 Legal Line, taking your personal injury questions at 1-888-208-6946. And that leads us to a question from Raymond, who says, I was involved in an accident that was seemingly my fault, but now the mechanic of my car tells me that there was a problem with the brake line. Can the other driver still sue me?
They can absolutely sue you, but what's key there is that you're going to want to look in that policy, and that policy is going to say that the insurance company is going to have to bring in a lawyer to defend you. That lawyer is going to be your representative. And one of the first things that lawyer should do would be to bring in either the mechanic shop or the brake manufacturer immediately. And the reason you want to do that is because if there is a lawsuit and if there's a trial and a judgment's made against you by a judge or jury, well, you don't want to bear the responsibility of other parties that may have been at fault. So I would say if your lawyer does not do that upon the other person bringing a lawsuit against you, you would need to remind them about the brakes, about the brake manufacturer, about what you heard from the mechanic, and go ahead and get them involved in that action as well.
Etta says a car wrecked into my house, caused a fire. Now my home insurance, I guess my homeowner's insurance has paid some, but shouldn't the other driver's insurance pay me for this?
Potentially. You know, that's a very unique fact pattern, but if that does happen, then again, your homeowner's insurance could pay for some of the damages. Yes, the at-fault driver's insurance will be responsible for paying for any property damage that it incurred, any injuries that it incurred, up to their policy limits. Typically on a vehicle, though, the policy limits are much lower than a homeowner's insurance. So I would definitely assert a claim against the at-fault driver's insurance, see what's out there. Again, your homeowner's insurance may have a right to subrogation or a right to reimbursement. So if you're able to recover from this at-fault driver's insurance, you're going to want to make sure that all the parties that paid that maybe shouldn't have paid because it wasn't their fault have been repaid. That's very, very key and very important in this situation.
We have a question from Jason, who says there was a dog in the road that caused me to crash my car. Can I sue the owner of the dog?
Potentially. I hope you were okay. I hope the dog is okay. But if a homeowner is negligent in allowing a dog to get out and the dog caused an accident, I typically see this with livestock. Actually, I've had several cases where a cow got loose, a bull got loose. The farmer, the owner, was aware and they hadn't been able to track down the livestock, and ended up causing an accident. I see that more often than I see dogs, and I don't know if that's just because people don't typically think to assert a claim against a homeowner or a dog owner, but I would say you could definitely do that, assuming that the homeowner, dog owner, is aware that the dog has been out, has been known to do this, been known to interfere with traffic, things like that. But that's definitely fact intensive, and I would recommend calling a lawyer on that one.
Got about 30 seconds left with your segment, and just real quickly, if you're involved in an accident of any sort, wouldn't you recommend going ahead and proceeding to call an attorney to find out what needs to be done? I
mean, absolutely. I think, you know, with most law offices, including ours, they're not going to charge anything just for an initial consultation or a phone call. You just want to know what something's out there, and sometimes having a yes or no answer is better than thinking about it and losing sleep overnight. So I mean, I would definitely recommend making the phone call and just seeing what's out there, just so you can kind of put it to rest if it's nothing at all.
Austin Kennedy of the Bryant Law Center has been our guest on part 1 of today's Local 6 Legal Line. We'll still take more personal injury questions, but next in the hot seat will be Tara Swanson. That's coming up on the other side of the break here on WPSD Local 6 Midday.